Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing another Madden rebuild on Madden 23, but this time it's going to be the Indianapolis Colts, who after having a poor start to their season, fired their head coach Frank Wright, and then they hired their old center who played with Peyton Manning, Jeff Saturday, and he went like 1-4. They didn't do so well, so they're on an up and up on a rebuild. They just gave away their last good player from an older time, T.Y. Hilton. So now let's take a look at the offense and see if we can rebuild. Okay, so for quarterback, you've got Matt Ryan. At running back, Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, and Paris Campbell. Then you've got Raymond, Quentin Nelson, Kelly, Pinter, Smith, and Mo Ali Cox. So on the offense, we definitely have to upgrade probably Pinter, definitely the quarterback, maybe get a better receiver and a tight end. Other than that, this offense looks okay. And then on the defensive side of the ball, we have Okereke, Leonard, Franklin, Blackman, Gilmore, Ngakoue, Buckner, Stewart, Quiddipe, and more. So the corners are pretty good. The secondary is okay. We may need to upgrade the other linebackers except for Leonard. Defensive line looks pretty good. So basically just the linebackers and the safeties. Okay, I'll see you once I make some trades. Okay, so I just sent DeForest Buckner and a 6th round pick for this year to the Chargers for a 1st round pick, which will definitely help me in my pursuit of a better quarterback. Okay, so I just sent 2 1st round picks and a 3rd round pick for this year to the Eagles for Jalen Hurts, which will be a massive upgrade over Phillip Rivers. Okay, so I just sent a 1st round pick for this year and a 3rd round pick for next year to the Buccaneers for Shaq Mason, which will be a massive upgrade for right guard. Okay, so I just sent a 2nd round pick for this year to the Bengals for Hayden Hurst, which will be a good upgrade over tight end. And this will be my last pick of the first couple of weeks. I'll sim to the mid-season and check in. Okay, so I sim to the mid-season point. We are 4-3. Now let's take a look at the stats. Jalen Hurts has 1,400 passing yards with 14 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Rushing-wise, it's Jonathan Taylor leading it with us with 731 yards and 9 touchdowns. Receiving-wise, it's Paris Campbell with almost 406 touchdowns. On the defensive side of the ball, Bobby Okereke leads us with tackles with 6. And then let's see who leads us in sacks. Quiddipe leads us in sacks. And then interceptions-wise, Stephon Gilmore has 3. Let's see if we forced any interceptions, or fumbles, I mean. And it seems like we did not. So I'll see you guys at the end of the season if we make the playoffs. Okay, so I just sent a 2nd and 4th round pick for next year to the Broncos for Garrett Bowles, which getting a better left tackle increases my rebuild of the offensive line. Okay, so we went 8-9, which means we made the playoffs. But before we get started with that, let's take a look at the stats. So we got 3,600 yards with Jalen Hurts, 32 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Rushing wise, you had Jonathan Taylor with 1,700 yards and 17 touchdowns. Receiving wise, you had Paris Campbell with 1,000. Defensive side of the ball, you had Shaq Leonard with 135. And then who led the game in tackles? 20 with Yannick Ngakoue. With sacks, it was Quiddipe with 13.5. Interceptions wise, we had Kenny Moore with 5. And then let's see, did we have any forced fumbles? And it looks like we had 1 with Shaq Leonard. So let's take a look at the awards. Okay, so for NFL awards, Taylor Heineke was your MVP. Coach of the Year was Ron Rivera. For the AFC OPOY, it was Josh Jacobs. DPOY was Von Miller. Rookie of the Year was Damian Pierce. Defensive Rookie of the Year was Derek Stingley. Best quarterback was Josh Allen. Best running back was Josh Jacobs. Best wide receiver was Keenan Allen. Best offensive lineman was Joel Bitonio. Best defensive lineman was Von Miller. Best linebacker was Max Crosby. Best DB was Kyle Duggar. Best kicker was K. Dewar. Okay, so after those awards, let's go see if we can win this wildcard game against the Titans. Okay, so we won the game against the Titans 28-23. Let's take a look at the stats. Okay, so Jalen Hurts threw for 254 yards and 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. Rushing wise, Jonathan Taylor had 122 rushing yards with 1 touchdown. Receiving wise, it was Jonathan Taylor that had 71 total yards on 1 reception. Don't know how that happened, but you know what, it did. Rodney McLeod led the game with 9 tackles, and then Rodney McLeod led it with 1 tackle for loss. Did we get any sacks? And we got 0 sacks. Okay, how about interceptions? We got 0 interceptions, but Jalen Hurts threw 1 though. And then did we force any fumbles? We had 0 forced fumbles. Okay, so let's see this game against the Patriots. Okay, so as you can see, we won a nail-biter game against the Buffalo Bills, 21-20. Now let's see the quarterback stats. Jalen Hurts threw for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rushing-wise, we had Jonathan Taylor with 55 yards and 0 touchdowns. And then we had Hayden Hurst with 51 yards and 1 touchdown. And then defensively, we had Rodney McLeod with 6 tackles. And then did we have any TFLs? We had Kwity Paye with 1. And then we had 1 sack with Yannick Ngakoue. And then we had 1 interception with Isaiah Rogers Sr. And then did we force any fumbles? Let's see. We forced 0 fumbles. So we're playing against the 15-2 Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl. Let's see if we can get the win. As you can see, the Indianapolis Colts are your Super Bowl champions with a score of 34-31. Take a look at the box score. We had Jalen Hurts throwing for 257 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then we had Jonathan Taylor with 68 yards and 0 touchdowns. And we had 113 yards with Paris Campbell and 2 touchdowns. Defensively, we had Bobby Okereke lead us with 10 tackles. Interceptions-wise, we had Stephon Gilmore with 1. And then sacks-wise, we had no sacks. Did we have any forced fumbles? And it looks like we did not. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you next time.